Hi, everybody, and welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Board of Commissioners held for the purpose of transacting the general business of the Township. Today's date is April 8, 2026. The meeting is being held in the Springfield Township building and is also being offered in a live streaming feature. The meeting will also be made available on the Township's website beginning tomorrow morning. Comments will not be accepted remotely during the meeting, but instructions for submitting public comment in advance of tonight's meeting were provided as part of the posted agenda. Mr. Taylor, could you summarize any public comment received prior to this meeting?
No public comment was received prior to the meeting.
Thank you. Please stand and join the Board of Commissioners in a moment of silent reflection to honor the servicemen and women who place themselves in harm's way in order to help preserve our safety at home and overseas. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I will entertain a motion dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the previous meeting as written and recorded in the official minute book of the Township.
So moved.
I hear a motion. Is there a second? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please record a unanimous vote. I was just about to acknowledge the absence of our commissioner, but welcome. Hello. All right. At this time, I have a few announcements, and we will be able to tackle some of the items that you're here for today. It's so nice to see a festive room, by the way. It's usually pretty quiet in here. So first, the Board of Commissioners did conduct an executive session as part of our April 6, 2026 workshop meeting to discuss one litigation matter. And next up is No Stigma, No Shame Day. Springfield Township has observed and will observe No Stigma, No Shame Day on Saturday, April 18, 2026. No Stigma, No Shame Day is intended to support public awareness of substance misuse, substance abuse disorder, and to promote awareness of mental health challenges. At this time, I'd like to invite Barbara Senst and Sue Crathern of the Springfield Township Opioid Action Committee, STOAC, to offer a few remarks about the committee's efforts to continue educating the community about this important issue.
Hey, thank you. I'm Barb Senst. Do I have to say my address? I don't have to. Okay, you know me. And this is Sue Crathern. We're just going to talk a little bit about No Stigma, No Shame Day, and then our kids here are going to be doing something pretty cool for us. So go ahead.
First, thank you all for honoring No Shame, No Stigma Day in the Township. It's a very important topic, and we're happy to be here to call attention to it. So the World Health Organization describes mental health as a state of mental wellness that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn and work well, and contribute to their community. It is an intrinsic and instrumental value and is a basic human right. Remember, everyone has mental health. We have good days, we have bad days. But one thing we know is that if we teach our kids about stigma and shame from a young age and make sure that it is part of their lives, this will result in favorable consequences that can do wonders for their physical and emotional well-being. Stigma is a learned behavior. Explain to them what it means, show them the way, and take the initiative to set a good example. And there are so many opportunities for us to do this. We all know feeling shame and ashamed can lead not only to mental health issues, depression, anxiety, and many other concerns, but also can contribute to addictions, substance use disorder, and suicide. Everyone in this room, we are sure, has been touched by this.
Okay, this is going to be Springfield's 4th annual No Stigma, No Shame Day, which is really exciting for us. It's going to be on April 18th this year. It's that important to you, it's that important that you, our commissioners, decided to recognize this as an official township resolution. It's not only impressive, proactive, but it's very enlightening and everything we should be as a community. Okay, we ask everyone in the township to please think about it and practice it every day. Before we start with our little play, I want to thank the Crinnises, the Paes, the Rogers, and the Curves parents for supporting and understanding how important No Stigma, No Shame Day is, and it's been crazy for them to work around schedules and bedtime and homework and sports and everything like that to get the kids to practice and work together. So we really appreciate all of your help. Thank you so much. So we're going to pick up where we left off last year and welcome a couple kids that know how to talk to both kids and adults about stigma and shame. Okay. We're good. I can move this.
Do we start? My name is Sadie Crinnis, and I live at 324 Woods Road, Glenside, Pennsylvania. My name is Abby Rogers. I live on 2 and 9 Tallyho Drive in Ambler, PA.
My name is Murray Pye, and I live at 222 Woods Road, Glenside.
My name is William Kern. I live at 307 Woods Road, Glenside, PA.
Okay, we're setting the scene here, and here, take the sign. These kids are outside a grocery store, and they're talking about no stigma, no shame to people.
Excuse me.
Yes.
One more, she didn't hear her name and address.
Oh, you didn't do it, Sam?
No, not yet.
Of course, sorry.
My name is Sammy Rogers, and I live on 2 and 9 Tallyho Drive in Ambler.
That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And these guys are walking out of the grocery store with their mom.
Why do people walk by and say, "I've got it covered," or "I know all about this," or "Are you selling Girl Scout cookies?" I wonder if we ask someone what stigma is, if they could even answer the question or not. Well, let's do it. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Do you know what stigma is? Do you know what shame is?
What you mean stick? I think you said it wrong. Of course I know what a stick is. It's a shame if you hit someone with a stick.
Not stick, stigma.
Wait a second, I want her to tell us, Mom. I was telling her to tell her the new words.
Well, we are experts at this, so make sure you listen. We actually talked to the Board of Commissioners about it last year. They run the community and make sure everything is okay where we live. What are your names? How old are you?
My name is Will, and I'm 10. My name is Mary, and I'm 9.
Did you know that there's a day every year in Springfield Township that reminds people about stigma and shame? It's about the most important day ever. And it's time, and that's why the commissioners made it a special day. And it's time for you and everyone to learn about it. Well, let's start with stigma. That's when people think or say something bad about someone because they've decided they are different, do things different, or have different ideas than you. Have you ever done that? Let's hope not. So here's a story that explains stigma. Imagine a girl at soccer practice who kept missing the goal, even when no one was blocking her. She was very quiet, always late, cried a lot, and the other kids started laughing at her. They didn't really know her. They just made up mean stories and called her weird because she didn't act like the rest of them. Nobody invited her to hang out or to sit at their lunch table because they all decided she was somebody to stay away from because she was so weird. That is stigma. So one day, someone, instead of laughing at her, asked her, "Is everything okay?" It turns out she wasn't weird at all. She was just going through a really hard time. She stayed home after school to take care of her sick sister, and her parents worked late, which is why she was always late to practice. She was crying because she was worried about her family, not just because of soccer. Once the team heard her story, they felt terrible for making things up about her that weren't true. They started welcoming her, asking how her sister was doing, and being kind. Because she wasn't being teased, she started smiling more, and even started scoring goals. So here's the thing. Don't laugh at people or make up stories when you don't know what their life is like. Don't do things that make them feel bad, like not letting them sit with you at the lunch table, telling them nobody likes them. That's stigma. It can hurt them for a very, very long time. Instead of judging, listen and understand.
Oh, what does judging mean? Not a clue.
Good question. Judging is what makes stigma happen. That is judging. It's when you make up your mind about someone before you know anything about them, like they did to the girl at soccer. Don't judge. Remember, judging makes stigma happen. Get it?
I think so. Once everyone in my class made fun of me because I came to school in my karate uniform. They judged me. I had to go to tournament after school and didn't have time to change, so I just wore my uniform to school. They didn't know why. They just laughed at me and told me I looked stupid. Yeah, I remember that. You said you didn't want to do karate anymore because you were embarrassed. Then you didn't want. Then you didn't do class and hid in the bathroom, and you weren't. And now you're a black belt, right?
Exactly. That's what happens when people judge. Instead of asking, whoa, are you a black belt? Or can you break a board? They were just mean. They made you feel ashamed of something you're actually really great at. It's important to remember how that feels, so you never do it to anybody else. And this brings us to shame. When you hid in the bathroom, Murray, guess what? You felt ashamed about wearing your uniform to school and even about taking karate. They laughed at you and shamed you. That's just mean. You're ashamed because you're being shamed. That shouldn't happen. When you feel shamed, it can make you want to hide. You might stop playing with your friends or stay quiet because you're afraid people will be mean again. Then you start believing the mean things people say about you. You may think you're stupid or not good enough. Instead of being proud of your karate, you want to give up on the thing you love.
Did you feel that way, Murray? Yep.
So it's pretty simple, really. You judge. That makes stigma happen. And then shame happens. That's why being kind matters so much. It helps people feel included instead of wanting to hide. So please, don't ever judge or shame anyone. It can affect them for a very long time in lots of ways.
No way. I get it now. I'm going to put this sign in our front yard. Kids don't judge. Kids are cool.
So it's pretty simple. The sooner we all learn about stigma and shame, the less there will be, and the healthier and happier everyone will be. Stop the stigma. Listen, understand, and don't judge. There is no shame in giving help or asking for help.
There is no shame being kind to everyone. Being kind is easy.
Being mean is just, well, mean.
Do you guys want to come up and take a quick picture? Do you all want to come up and take a picture with your signs? Would love that. Let's do that. I don't know if there's a reporter in the house. Maybe we can send it to the local and see if they'll pick it up. Maybe we'll stand back here and
Okay.
you guys here with the signs? Happy, all right? Good job, guys. Really wonderful. And gals.
Excellent.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thanks, guys. Great job.
Great job.
I want to thank everybody. I'm glad there were so many people here tonight, which is wonderful. Thanks, Mike. And just remember, it starts when kids are young, and we have to teach them how to not shame and not create stigma in the community. Again, like I said, it starts young. We've all seen it. It can lead to a lot of things and bad consequences we don't want to see, but we can also make it lead to good consequences if we teach our kids about this. Okay? Does anybody have any questions?
No, I just wanted to thank you so much.
Thank
guys are
you.
really brave for showing up. And
I
doing
know.
that.
I'm very proud of them. I
Yeah,
really
it's
am.
really impressive. Thanks for being
Yeah.
such important leaders in our community.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, thank you again. And I would say it's really fortuitous that you're here on the night of the police commendations, because my next announcement is about the Springfield Township Police Department participating on Saturday, April 25th, also in honor of No Stigma, No Shame, or close to No Stigma, No Shame Day, 10 to 2 p.m. In the National Drug Take Back Day, accepting and safely disposing of unwanted and expired prescription drugs at the police station at 1510 Paper Mill Road in Winmore. As we know, STOAC does a lot of work and advocacy in this area. And so just really appreciate your hard work. Thank you so much to the kids and your families for allowing us to share in their experience.
I just, for one of the drug take back, we're always there. We'll be giving out free Narcan if you don't take that. So,
Barbara, would you mind just going to the mic? So would you mind just saying the same thing on the mic so that folks online can hear you? Just come right here and just say it out loud. Just repeat it so people online.
We'll be
can
there.
hear you.
We'll be there. We always give out free Narcan and information that people want and need about getting help and where you can find resources, et cetera. So if you know anybody that wants any Narcan, we still have some that we can give out, and come and get it. Great. Thank you.
Thank you all. And again, thank you to you and your families for sharing your time and efforts. And I'll just for the sake of closing it out, their message is to practice No Stigma, No Shame Day, No Stigma, No Shame all the time. Listen, help, be kind, do not judge. I think we can all benefit from that. Thank you. All right. Next, we're going to be doing the police commendations. Do not feel like you need to stay, but of course, you're welcome to stay for the police commendations. At this time, I'm going to invite our chief, Mike Pitko, to the front of the room to conduct a commendation ceremony to recognize members of the police department who have demonstrated above average initiative, intelligence, and ability as part of your duties to produce substantial results and or contributed to the safety of the Springfield Township community. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. So good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our annual commendation ceremony. Special welcome to the officers being recognized and their families that are here tonight, as well as members of the department. Some are working tonight, so I thank you for showing up for that. Always look forward to the Board of Commissioner meetings, especially when we're hiring new officers or promoting officers. This is the most satisfying portion where we have the opportunity to showcase superior work done by our police officers. Like most police departments, we have many policies, including one for employee recognition. So there's a process whereby supervisors submit candidates for accommodations, and officers can actually also submit. They want to have a supervisor recognized. Requests are reviewed for approval and the type of award. We've recently adopted the same protocol as the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office, in that we will recognize cases, recognize the officers after the case has been resolved through courts. The types of awards that we're honoring tonight, we have a life-saving award, which we're going to start off first, commendation of merit, letter of commendation, and the annual highway safety award. So this evening, we're recognizing 7 officers. Unfortunately, 2 of these 7 could not appear this evening. One of them is on vacation, but we'll read the award anyway to show you what kind of work was done. We invite you obviously to take some photographs. We'll probably go through all the accommodations, and we'll do the photographs one by one as we get past the ceremony. So we're going to lead off again with the life-saving award. So I call Officer Ryan Mikowski up. Officer Brown was the other officer that was unable to make it tonight. And I want to call our surviving patient up to the front. You want to come up here, Mr. Williams? All right, so let me read a little bit about this case. Monday, October 6, 2025 at 6:30 a.m. Police were dispatched to an apartment in the 600 block of Bethlehem Pike, Erdenheim section, Springfield Township, for a report of a male in his 50s who was not breathing. The location was at the rear of the property. Officer Ryan Brown arrived first on the scene and checked the male for a pulse and did not detect the pulse. Officer Brown immediately lifted the male, Mr. Williams, off of his bed and placed him on the floor to begin CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Officer Mikowski is the second officer on scene. Next with his AED, obviously an automated external defibrillator. And Officers Brown and Mikowski alternated performing compressions, and the AED indicated that 2 shocks were warranted and they were deployed. The patient, Mr. Williams, appeared to react to the shocks. And however, a pulse at that point still couldn't be ascertained. Crew members from the Community Ambulance Association of Ambler, it's a long way of saying Ambler Ambulance, arrived on scene and began treating the patient and transported him to Cheston Hill Hospital for treatment. I've already mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Happy that the patient and his wife are here this evening to thank the officers. The actions are in the highest tradition of the Springfield Township Police Department. Would you said you might have to leave a little early, right? Do you want to take pictures with?
Oh, my.
It's not too formal. If you have anything to say, you're welcome to. You don't have to say anything.
You want to get up in front of the,
Make the wall of fame.
You-
You want to stay front? Sure. Yeah, I can take a picture with you.
is that what? Good?
Should we have? We're getting out of the saying it.
Still making it through.
That's wonderful.
So in addition to the certificate that Officer Mikowski and Officer Brown will receive, they get what we call a bar or a ribbon. In this case, it's it's a red, white, and red bar that they can wear on their uniforms, right? So nicely done. So the second and third, I guess, will be Detective Stephen Craig. Want to stop up? All right. So we have the luxury of awarding 2 commendations of merit for Detective Craig. So let me read you the first one. These are very extensive cases. Detective Craig has just an enormous amount of training. Most of it is down through Hoover, Alabama, with the National Computer Forensic Institute. But let me go back to Saturday, October 17th, 2022. A mother arrived at the police department to make a report of her 13-year-old daughter and the defendant, Daniel McIntyre. Detective Stephen Craig was assigned to the case and conducted a lengthy investigation through 2023. The defendant took 13 photographs of the victim in various states of nudity when the victim was between 11 and 13 years of age in the bedroom of his home. The defendant admitted to possessing more than 3,000 images and 100 videos of child pornography. He had provided the victim with a cell phone, and Detective Craig viewed the contents and discovered the victim, again, in various states of nudity, and applied for a search warrant for the defendant's home. Items seized included a cell phone, laptop, computer, 2 hard drives, with, again, a collection of child sexual abuse material, or what we call in law enforcement, CSAM, including some which depicted toddlers and infants. The defendant used a device that he gave to the young girl to take photographs of her while in various, again, stages of nudity and consciousness. These photographs were transmitted from a device to a cloud storage account. Taking the photographs and then transmitting them to a Google Photos account in the cloud is indicative of the production and transmission of CSAM. The defendant was sentenced in April 2025, 38 to 92 years in prison after pleading guilty to charges of creating child pornography, possession of child pornography, criminal use of a communication facility, corruption of a minor, for instance, that occurred between 2022 and 2023. Again, Detective Craig has expertise in complex cases involving digital forensics, certified by leading organizations, operates our very fancy police department's digital forensic lab, trained extensively for many weeks down, again, in Hoover, Alabama. He's a member of the United States Secret Service, Philadelphia area Cyber Fraud Task Force. Your actions are in the highest traditions of Springfield Township Police Department. Yeah. As Detective Craig is so popular that adjoining departments, neighboring departments, they always find their way to drop off a phone and some evidence for Steve to do the examination. And he's very valuable here in Eastern Montgomery County. Okay. Now here's a more recent one. Monday, March 25th, 2024, the mother of a 15-year-old daughter arrived at the police department and reported that she found text messages that contained, again, child sexual abuse material on her daughter's cell phone, and was concerned that her daughter was having an inappropriate relationship, sexual relationship with the defendant named Tyler Giacomo. Detective Craig was assigned to the case and applied for a search warrant and forensically examined the contents of the defendant's cell phone, which included more than 110,000 interactions between him and the female. During the investigation, Detective Craig discovered a second victim, 14 years of age. The sexual assaults occurred at various locations, including the defendant's apartment. The defendant encountered the 2 victims on TikTok and or Snapchat, provided alcoholic beverages and vape pens, and groomed them for sex. He was trusted and a respected member in the community because of his duties as a baseball coach and umpire. 2 of the sex acts occurred with one victim. The other one was with a second victim. He was charged with trafficking in individuals, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a child, statutory sexual assault, corruption of minors, unlawful contact or communication with minors, possessing child pornography, and selling or furnishing minors with alcohol. December 2025, he pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to 10 to 20 years in a state correctional institution. He's classified as a sexually violent predator, which triggers more stringent restrictions regarding parole, mandatory counseling, community notification, and housing arrangements. I already gave you Detective Craig's background, but again, what really assisted with this case is his strong background with forensics. And again, to repeat myself, your actions are in the highest tradition of our police department in Springfield. Yeah. And Detective Craig will, when he's in uniform anyway, he'll be able to wear a bar or ribbon with the yellow and light blue contrast to it. Okay. All right, next. This is Officer Eunice Bajita. Hey. Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 at 3:32 p.m., Officer Bajita was dispatched to the Cheston Hill Lodge, a skilled nursing center in the Winmore section of Springfield Township, to investigate a report that a former employee was impersonating someone else. While interviewing the suspect, Officer Bajita continually received incorrect information to include name, date of birth, last four of the SOCH. Also, she possessed a fraudulent Pennsylvania driver's license. The complainant advised Officer Bajita that she believed that the suspect was terminated in 2024 for misconduct toward a patient. Officer Bajita informed the suspect that this is required by law, by the way. You're the subject of a police investigation and that you'll be charged with false ID to law enforcement if you don't provide us with your true identity. She produced a date of birth and a social security number and produced a driver license with a different name and acknowledged that two social security numbers were not hers. The fingerprint, of course, we're going to get the real information. So we get a real name. It's determined that there were multiple warrants from not only Chester County, but Delaware County, Montgomery County, Philadelphia, and Lehigh counties of Pennsylvania, and even something in Burlington County in New Jersey. And she admitted that she had multiple ID cards in her vehicle. The defendant was a certified nursing assistant, but lost her license and began working at different facilities with different names. And provided timesheets indicate that the defendant clocked in at Cheston Hill Lodge on 36 dates using 3 different names and clocked in a total of 186 times at probably the parent company, Bravo Care Facilities. And when total payout is $36,070.72. Officer Bajita applied for multiple search warrants, used his training and experience in a complex case to arrest a wanted felon. Diligent investigation resulted in a defendant being charged with theft by deception, identity theft, false ID to law enforcement, impersonating a notary public, and possession of marijuana. So your actions are in the highest traditions of the Springfield Township Police Department. Speaking of that, I was looking for a disposition on this case. I see that on February 6th, I'm not sure if you noticed, Officer Bajita, but there was a guilty plea on February 6th, and there's a motion for parole, according to this, on February 24th. So we'll have to see how that shakes out moving forward. What do I have for next? This officer couldn't be here tonight, but Officer Thomas Sweeney, nice job by the officer on this. Thursday, August 14th, 2025, 12:29 p.m. Officer Sweeney was dispatched to the WSFS Bank located 1311 Bethlehem Pike, Flowertown section of Springfield Township for report of a check fraud. The bank manager reported that the defendant brought in a fraudulent check in the amount of $23,000, $878.41, attempting to cash it. The bank manager verified with the company listed on the check that it was fraudulent and advised Officer Sweeney that, by the way, the woman that did this is going to be back here any second. So just to let you know that up front. As Officer Sweeney's looking out the window, sure enough, here comes the defendant parking in a regular parking space. And I'm sure because she saw the police car, she drove off westbound on West Wissahickon Avenue. Officer Sweeney stops her vehicle in a 200 block of West Wissahickon. The defendant claimed that she, quote, "I received a check from a guy," end quote. Officer Sweeney took the defendant into custody and applied for a search warrant for the vehicle. specifically looking for fraudulent checks or cash obtained illegally. The search warrant was approved by the judge, and Corporal Wiley, who's in the room this evening. Corporal Wiley on the squad and Officer Sweeney began searching the vehicle. There was a drawstring bag underneath the front passenger seat, and it contained an unloaded Glock Model 42, which is a 380 caliber firearm, had a loaded magazine and one loose round in the bag. So the gun wasn't loaded. There was another suspected fraudulent check, suspected cocaine, small amount of methamphetamine. So because the gun was found, here's where Detective Craig helps out again. They apply for another search warrant to cover the fact that they're looking for perhaps more guns. That warrant was also approved. Detective Craig processed the firearm and turned it over to the Montgomery County Detective Bureau under the DA's office for further testing. Defendant was charged with access device fraud, identity theft, possession of instrument of crime, firearm not to be carried without a license, and possession of a controlled substance. Officer Sweeney did a very thorough job, police investigation, and a very successful outcome on that case as well. And again, looking at the docket, let's see, there was a guilty plea February 2nd, 2026, awaiting sentencing. Not sure what the outcome will be, but we'll make sure that he gets his commendation. And finally, we have the annual Highway Safety Award. So this will be Corporal Wiley. He actually won this award back in 2022 as well when he was a member of the Traffic Safety Unit. So the Highway Safety Award is awarded annually to the officer who was nominated by the police department after review of the officer's activity for the year to include, among other things, DUI arrest, hazardous moving violation citations, overall citations and warning issues, and parking violation enforcement. Consideration for the award is also given for attendance and crash training to include basic on-scene crash, advanced crash investigation, and reconstruction crash investigation. And when he was an officer before he got promoted, he attended fundamentals of on-scene crash investigation in March of 2017, as well as basic, advanced and technical analysis, collision investigation, October of 2019. And finally, crash reconstruction training in July of 2023. Then he decided to take a promotional test. He was promoted to the rank of corporal in 2024. That was March. So he's now assigned back to the patrol division. So the 2025 Highway Safety Award goes to Corporal Wiley. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you, Commissioners. Now maybe we can perhaps do some photographs.
I was going to say, I just want to give everyone just a final round of applause for all of your hard work, not just on for those things that you get awards for. We know that you do hard work every day that goes unrecognized, as well as these opportunities. So again, a round of applause for the department. And for our listeners. I would say let's do pictures
Yeah, why don't we do that?
let's do a group picture, and then we'll kind of get out of the way, and anyone who wants to take pictures of your families, please do. And let's do that. And thank you for coming here and honoring the family, the family who's was saved by an officer. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you.
Frank? You want to about that,
Congratulations.
right?
No,
That's not recommended?
no.
Okay.
He's here. Sorry. It's made. It's alive. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's incredible.
No, that's great.
Was it a heart attack? Well,
So we're talking about putting the AED. You just made the argument.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They could be used.
Yeah.
I know you guys get your phone, but this would be right at the field.
Good. Someone in his family comment, unresponsive and.
Well, you said one at a time, then everybody jumped in.
Yeah, just, we're good.
All right, so we're all jumping back. We're going this way. I'll do that. All right.
No, no. All right, we got to scoot down.
I'll put my hands on Brian's hips.
Yeah. Panorama. or whatever.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Brian, make sure you're in the middle.
We can Photoshop. Chris, look it on.
We're gonna go landscape.
There you go. I got everybody. That was beautiful.
All right.
Thank you for coming, yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Sure. What are we doing? Yep.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank Thanks for coming.
Probably locked.
You're doing those. I know. Absolutely. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You want to see a picture of us?
Yeah.
So much. I appreciate that.
I don't know what that means.
How you wanna go potty? You don't need to go now? Okay, we'll go when we leave.
Oh, I'll get a picture.
Yeah. So when I remember like. Near your heart, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was, I was like trying, I was coming back to, like, we're reading the thing, have this like, it's actually on my 1 month holiday. Like, I'm so weird, like, I'm grateful. You know, I thought that was like I'm really happy that he's able to. Be able to.
That's the newsletter word right there.
It's all about it.
How you doing?
Very nice.
Russ, I'm leaving 5 years.
What's up, man?
Russ, it'll move.
All right.
Yeah, we've been doing stuff 45 years.
I guess not, just so solicited. Thanks, Chief.
Lucky.
When's the last time there was a life-saving event?
Yeah, sure,
of
we
that-
have. We
of
had
that-
Pat Johnson.
Yeah.
There's a guy in our time that was working on that and he slipped and his arm. That's your area. Terminal, I don't know, hard time road. And anyway, cuts his arm severely.
Oh, my God.
Passing over.
That worked out.
And he survived. It could have been bad.
Yikes. Is he hanging from the,
Break your water.
oh boy.
That's fine. Thanks, Chief, for,
Thanks for having us.
Do it yourself.
I remember, there's a chiropractor or someone, but just like allegedly, where I heard that they slipped, like, technically.
I don't want to hear more.
That's what I'm thinking. Wrapped up? I don't want to rush anything.
All right, well, let's start again. Pretty good.
Pay a couple $100. I've seen when I have my house.
Yes, on the ice, yeah.
It's one of those typical. It's awful.
No, it's like no rush, but thanks, Becky. All you do, wonderful. Crazy stories.
All right. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks for those great.
So cool. I didn't want to interrupt any moments. I'm like, I was gonna say, like. Very, very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Good night. Good night. Good night. I'll see you soon. Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Congratulations. Good night. I'll send you like a. I really appreciate it.
Well, the biggest guy that I have here.
We got a dialogue in the back corner.
Are we doing the Public Works commendation?
I would like to commend our Public Works Director. Shout out to Ian to Ian for being here and for all that you do.
We're giving you your own commendation.
Hey, actually, it was a rough winter and Public Works has been holding it down, out middle of the night, sometimes 24 hours worth, if not more, especially during those ice storms. So how about a round of applause for Ian, our director, who's here for all of
Second
his
best
hard
red beard in the department.
You want to take a photo?
He was, Ian was, and the department was shouted out twice last night, right, by our speaker and by the EAC.
Yeah.
Ah,
Monday.
yeah, that's true.
Monday.
You were. I was like, wait, was there a secret meeting yesterday to shout out Ian?
Monday. It's Monday.
All right. Well, conveniently, our Director of Public Works is here because I'm sure he's eager to hear about our municipal storm sewer system notice on March 12th, 2026. Public notice was provided by the Board of Commissioners of Springfield Township, that's us, that it is accepting public comment on the Springfield Township total maximum daily load pollutant reduction plan for the Wissahickon Creek, Sandy Run, and unnamed tributaries to the Schuylkill River. The plan was made available on the same date for review on the Springfield Township website and at the Springfield Township Administration Building. Public comment was accepted by the Board of Commissioners at its April 6, 2026 meeting and will be accepted as part of the public comment period this evening. The pollutant reduction plan identifies potential projects to be completed to reduce sediment and nutrient pollution as required by the township's National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES, Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, MS4 permit. So that is my final announcement before we move into the public portion of the meeting.
Aye.
The board is now open to comments or questions from the public. The board draws particular attention to those items listed on the agenda this evening. Please be advised that once the committee reports begin, the board can no longer accept questions from the floor. At the conclusion of the committee reports, public comments will once again be accepted. However, official action on those issues listed on the agenda will have already taken place. Therefore, if you wish to comment on an agenda item, now would be the appropriate time. The room is now empty despite its festive start, so I'm going to say that there's no public comment before us. So we are going to launch right into our committee reports, which I will begin as the chairwoman of the Community Development Committee. I have 2 resolutions and an announcement. First, this is resolution number 1689 on 28 Grove Avenue. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1689, a resolution granting preliminary final subdivision and land development approval for a 2-lot subdivision located at 28 Grove Avenue in Flowertown. The project includes the demolition of an existing single-family detached dwelling in order to subdivide the property and construct 2 new single-family detached dwellings. The approval is conditioned upon the applicant complying with all conditions placed in the February 17, 2026 recommendation letter of the Springfield Township Planning Commission. That is my motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on the motion? I think we just want to clarify for the benefit of those who are interested. There were quite a few neighbors interested that a environmental, review was done ahead of demolition as would be required for their demolition permit. And there was nothing anomalous found. Particularly, I think neighbors were concerned about things like asbestos and other environmental hazards. So I would just want to clarify for those residents, that is what occurred and was contingent on this approval. Any other comments for those neighbors? All right. If that is the case, then all in favor, we have a motion. There's been a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Please record a unanimous vote. Next, I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1690, a resolution accepting the dedication of a portion of a right-of-way in the 500 block of East Mill Road. The area to be dedicated is identified in a record plan prepared for Nancy Walker by Pahutsky Land Surveying dated May 5, 1998, last revised July 6, 1988. The two parcels were recently sold to a developer who intends to sell the existing single-family detached dwelling and to construct a new single-family detached dwelling on the adjacent tract. Prior to transferring the ownership to two separate owners, the board wishes to accept the dedication of right-of-way from a single property owner. That is my motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any comments or questions on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nay. Seeing none, please record a unanimous vote. And then finally, I have an announcement regarding a vacancy that exists as on the Springfield Township Building Code Board of Appeals. The Building Code Board of Appeals hears and rules on all appeals regarding decisions made by the Municipal Building Code official concerning the Pennsylvania Uniform Construction Code, the UCC. A member of the Board of Appeals shall be qualified by training and experience to decide matters pertaining to plan review and building construction. Springfield Township residents who are licensed as an architect and/or an engineer, or have training and experience as a building inspector or plan reviewer are encouraged to submit their resume and letter of interest by May 1st, 2026 to the Springfield Township Manager at 1510 Paper Mill Road in Winmore, PA, or mtaylor@springfieldmonco.org. That is my announcement and concludes my report. And now I'll be moving to the chairman of the Administrative Fiscal Affairs and Zoning Committee, Commissioner James Lee.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two items this evening. The first regarding the bill listing. I move that the Board of Commissioners approve the March check reconciliation in the amount of $428,775.47. The April bill listing in the amount of $829,446.19. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Seeing none, please record a unanimous vote.
Second, I'd like to announce that the Springfield Township Zoning Hearing Board will meet Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the Springfield Township Building in this room to receive testimony on several applications. The first is case 26-07 regarding the property at 531 East Mermaid Lane in Winmore. Applicants seek a variance to construct an accessory structure within one of the two required front yards for this parcel. Second is case 26-08 regarding the property at 703 East Willow Grove Avenue in Winmore. The applicants seek approval to construct a 240 square foot addition to the existing garage and alter the roof structure to increase the building's height. Request would allow the garage to be 4 feet 5 inches and 5 feet from the side property lines instead of the required 7 feet. And they seek approval to add a second floor to the attached garage that would increase the building's height to 20 feet, where the building limited to 1 story and a maximum of 12 feet. Third is case 26-09 regarding the property at 722 Swade Road in Erdenheim. The applicants seek approval to construct an addition to the home that will encroach 7 feet 5 inches into the required 40-foot front yard setback. And finally, case 26-10 regarding the property at 2 Terminal Avenue in Erdenheim. The applicants seek approval to construct a 2-story addition to the rear of existing single-family dwelling that will continue the existing non-conforming side yard setback of 5 feet. Copy of the applications and plans are on file in the Code Enforcement Office and may be viewed during normal business hours. And that concludes my report.
Fantastic. Next, we will move to the chairman of the Environmental Resources Committee, Commissioner Brendan May.
Thank you, Madam President. I will begin with the recycling report. During the month of March 2026, Springfield Township residents recycled 142.9 tons of material with a householder participation rate of 70%. The net cost for the month was $20,198.32. Next, regarding leaf compost, the Board of Commissioners would like to inform residents that fresh leaf compost is now available at the Township's distribution site located on West Wissahickon Avenue in Flourtown. Leaf compost can be added to soil as a soil amendment or used as a top dressing around landscape plants in place of hardwood mulch. Leaf compost will also stimulate earthworms, and other helpful organisms and will retain more water and moisture than traditional hardwood mulch. And then lastly, I have a resolution number 1691. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution number 1691, the resolution authorizing an application to the 2026 round of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, Section 902 Recycling Equipment Program. The grant proposal seeks to obtain an award in the amount of $250,000 for the purchase of a curbside recycling collection vehicle with a present estimated cost of $306,534.
We have,
That
a
is
mo-
my motion.
we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second. Well, that's a second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? No questions about the recycling truck? Beautiful. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you so much for your report. Now we will move to the chairwoman of the Public Safety Committee, Commissioner Elizabeth McNamara.
Thank you, Madam President. One announcement tonight, and that is for a domestic violence forum. In collaboration with the Springfield Township Board of Commissioners, Springfield Township Police Department, Montgomery County Monetary Office, and the Montgomery County Magisterial District Courts, residents are invited to join us for a community conversation in support of domestic abuse survivors and their allies, to be held here at the Springfield Township Administration Building on Wednesday evening, April 29th at 7:00 p.m. This panel discussion will highlight the process of obtaining a protection from abuse PFA order, seeking police department assistance, and accessing local resources. This event is free, it's open to the public, and it will be recorded for future access on the township website. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner McNamara. I would just add that, we understand that it's such a sensitive topic for folks and understand if, it's more comfortable to be online. In person, I think you encourage people to do that and Zoom in live, but understand that you may want to take your time and see it at your leisure. And we're hoping to create a public education page around it for everyone. Domestic cases are the hardest ones for police officers, I think, as we heard earlier, as much as obviously the more intense ones like life-saving events also occur. But so many incidences of public safety revolve around situations with people that and it's really hard to share information about that, really hard to know what to do in those scenarios. And so appreciate you, Beth, for taking it on and really putting that together. So look forward to that presentation, and I'm sure we'll get a good debrief at our next meeting.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Chairwoman McNamara. Next, we're going to move to the Chairman of the Cultural Resources Committee, Commissioner Edward Morris.
Madam President, I do not have a report this evening.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to move to Chairman of the Parks and Recreational Resources Committee, Commissioner Robert Goldberg.
Thank you, Madam President. I have one resolution to read. On March 12th, 2026, Springfield Township issued a request for proposals for geotechnical investigation services for the township's recreation center project. Geotechnical investigation is used to determine subsurface conditions for the design of building foundations, stormwater management, and site features. A total of 6 responses were received by the April 1, 2026 deadline for submission of proposals. The proposals range from $21,387 to $67,500. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners award a contract to David Blackmore and Associates Incorporated to perform geotechnical investigation for the Springfield Township Recreation Center project in accordance with their proposal dated March 31st, 2026 in the amount of $21,387. That concludes my motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote. Does that conclude your report, Commissioner Goldberg?
Yes, that concludes my report.
Great. At this time, I'm sure our Public Works Director is waiting. I go to the Chairman of the Public Works and Facilities Committee for a very short report. And that's Commissioner Thad Kirk.
Thank you, Madam President. I think we all appreciate your sarcasm. I have a whopping 5 items for tonight. The first is a bid for the 2026 Highway Resurfacing Program. On April 6, 2026, bids were received for the Township's 2026 Highway Resurfacing and Milling Program. Bids were received from 2 contractors, Glasgow Inc. and James D. Morrissey Inc. The bids ranged from $544,104.90 to $597,696 based upon 5,130 tons of applied in-place asphalt and 22,920 square yards of road milling. The budget for the project is $556,930. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners award a contract to Glasgow Inc. of Glenside, PA to mill and resurface specified township streets for their combined low bid of $93.33 per ton for resurfacing and $2.80 per square yard for road milling for a total estimated price of $544,104.90. That is my first motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
My second item also relates to a bid for the Terminal Avenue Storm Sewer Improvements Project. On April 6, 2026, bids were received for the Terminal Avenue Storm Sewer Improvements Project. The project will extend the existing storm sewer system that terminates at the Montgomery Avenue Terminal Avenue intersection to the Terminal Avenue Erdenheim Avenue and Terminal Avenue Yakel Avenue intersections. Only one bid was received in the amount of $428,776. The project is being funded by a grant obtained from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development Small Water and Sewer Program in the amount of $404,561. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners award a contract to Plymar Construction Company, Inc. of Plymouth Meeting, PA, to complete the Terminal Avenue Storm Sewer Improvements Project in accordance with their low bid of $428,776. That is my motion.
There's been a motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion?
I think we only received one bid, did that bid come in the ballpark of what we would estimate such a project would cost?
Yeah, as a township engineer reported on Monday evening, it was within his budget estimate that he prepared 2 to 3 years ago.
Oh, so 2 to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So we've had quite a bit of inflation since then, and we're still in the ballpark there. It's good here.
Do we usually get more than one bid? I feel like we usually do.
It varies depending upon the size of the project. For instance, you just approved the highway resurfacing project, and there were 2 bids received this year. Last year, I've been looking through the history. We had 5 last year. So it all varies, depends upon how busy the contractors are and what kind of work they have booked up already.
Right.
And am I correct that the grant covers all but about $24,000?
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow. Amazing. Great grant work. We had a motion. We had a second. Those are our comments. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
My third item relates to ordinance number 983, snow and ice removal regulations. I move that the Board of Commissioners enact ordinance number 983, an ordinance amending chapter 92, streets and sidewalks of the Code of the Township of Springfield, subsection 92-22, violations and penalties, to regulate the clearing of ice and snow from public sidewalks. In summary, ordinance number 983 authorizes a police officer or code enforcement officer of the township to issue a written warning to a property owner for the failure to clear a public sidewalk of snow and ice within 24 hours following a snow event, and increases the penalty for the failure of a property owner or tenant to clear a public sidewalk within 24 hours of being issued a warning to $500. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? I would just
I
say.
think we should comment a little bit on this, and that our goal is to get the sidewalk cleared, not to gain revenue. the goal is to make it possible to walk down the street. That's what we're trying to do here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and in that context, to Rob's point, the previous fees that were part of this code have become ridiculously low. Not even worth
So there was
it.
no deterrent. Yeah.
There's really no deterrent.
It was $15, I
Yeah.
think. So, and I think we had a conversation. I think the starting number was $1,000 and we thought, well, that still felt really intense. So we split the difference and called it 500.
Yeah, and it's still a maximum, and it's still the idea that they'll have warnings and the chance to remedy
cure it,
the
sure.
violation before any fine is issued.
Absolutely. All right. Any other comments or questions? Seeing no further discussion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed or any opposed signifies with a nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
My fourth item relates to the Center for Watershed Protection. At the April 6, 2026 meeting of the Board of Commissioners, the board received a presentation regarding the township's obligations with respect to the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System Program. Those obligations require the development of a total maximum daily load and pollutant reduction plan, as well as storm sewer and outfall mapping, public education, and water quality monitoring. The township engineer has recommended engaging the Center for Watershed Protection, a Maryland-based nonprofit specializing in stormwater management planning, research, and training to help local governments protect and restore streams, rivers, and wetlands. Therefore, I move that the Board of Commissioners authorize the execution of a scope of services and fee proposal with the Center for Watershed Protection to assist the township with the completion of specified tasks as required by the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System Program. The total fee is $61,930 for the period of 2026-2027. That is my motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments on the motion? I would just add, my understanding is this is already happening. This is something we already do, and the Center for Watershed Protection already works with our engineer. This is a bit of an accounting assist to our engineer to be sure that we account for this separately, right?
That's correct.
All right. If seeing no other comments or questions, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
And finally, my last item relates to resolution number 1692, Arbor Day celebration. I move that the Board of Commissioners adopt resolution 1692, a resolution proclaiming Saturday, April 25th, 2026 as Arbor Day in Springfield Township. As part of the township's annual Arbor Day celebration, the Springfield Township Shade Tree Commission will be conducting an Arbor Day ceremony and tree giveaway beginning at 9 a.m. at Cisco Park, 199 Montgomery Avenue in Erdenheim. Residents are also encouraged to enter a raffle drawing to receive one of 38 free trees by registering their name, address, and contact information beginning Friday, April 10th at www.springfieldmontco.org. Winners will be selected at random on Thursday, April 17th, and must be able to pick up their tree at the Arbor Day celebration. Board of Commissioners urges all citizens to join with the Springfield Township Shade Tree Commission to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to plant new trees. That is my motion to adopt resolution 1692.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions or comments?
Is it true that there will be a tree planting in honor of Commissioner Peter Wilson during that day as well?
That is in fact true.
There you go.
At Cisco Park. His favorite park.
Even double the reason to go.
And favorite tree, I hope.
Well, it does have Canadian roots, so.
All right. Seeing no further questions or comments, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, please record a unanimous vote.
And that will conclude my report.
Finally.
Good report. Very good report.
Thank you, Commissioner Kirk. At this time, the board is once again open to receiving public comment. We don't have any members in the audience, so now that is now that that's concluded, I will now accept a motion to adjourn
So
the meeting.
moved.
Do I have to have a second, please?
Second.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. See none. Please record unanimous vote and the meeting is adjourned.
Yippee.
Thank you all. See you next month.
Or sooner.